Okay Google, where should you go if you want to submit a rebrand idea to rebrand everything?
Rebrandeverything.com.
She's good. Hello Rebrand Gang and welcome to episode 47 of Rebrand Everything, the weekly graphic design show where we redesign the logo of big or famous companies. This week we are going to be rebranding the Nvidia logo, and big thanks to Clyke who submitted this over on rebrandeverything.com. Let's go. Nvidia are a technology company whose main business is creating graphics cards for computers. Their website looks like this. So as you can see, their website is very clean and it fits the technology vibe. They're showing off their graphics capabilities and also featuring the fact that they are involved with AI technology. They use their bold brand colour well with lots of contrast to give that powerful tech vibe. It really reminds me of like the PC Gamer magazine style, or like PC Gamer websites with this sort of like green data effect on top of the black background. Really contrasting, really clear and really kind of exciting looking. I suppose it makes sense that they use a lot of this futuristic imagery and kind of CGI as the main part of their business is producing graphics cards. If we take a closer look at the logo, we can see that the icon is some sort of abstract eye, but I didn't fully understand the concept behind this, so I got onto Google to find out the meaning. I found this, which says, Nvidia, a Latin word for envy. This sense is a looking upon associated with the evil eye. The usage of green colour further reinforces the envious qualities of the products bearing this logo. The eye is offset by a simple square representing a digital pixel, since the products Nvidia make are primarily for graphics rendering. The evil eye idea is this big powerful like meaning behind it, and so I'm just interested to take that concept and put my own spin on it. So although their website looks very clean and very modern, the only thing that doesn't look so clean and futuristic is their logo. As I said, I think the concept looks good, so the only thing that I find weird about the logo is the actual art style itself. The icon is drawn with this organic style varying thickness lines, which makes me think of cave paintings or tribal tattoos. Okay, so I'm just editing this little bit of the video where I just said about the cave paintings, and actually it's really hard to find any examples of what I'm on about. Like, you see this little spiral here on this Shutterstock picture. It's kind of what I was thinking of, but it's not that much like the logo other than the fact it's a spiral. But what I'm getting at is like the varying thickness of the lines. Like you see this guy and his bow and arrow there. It's like, it's not all solid and sort of geometric, and it's all kind of like free flowing and kind of natural and organic. I hope that makes sense. And this kind of like natural or organic style doesn't really seem to make sense to me for a tech company. I had a little look through their company history to see if there was any kind of reasoning behind this, but I couldn't find anything. The word mark itself that sits either to the right of the icon or below the icon is a mix of upper and lowercase characters. You can see that the N is the shape of a lowercase character, but it sits at the same height as the uppercase. I'm not the greatest fan of mixing upper and lowercase text in this fashion, but this is a better example of this in action, and I don't actually mind it too much as it's still clear and easy to read. Okay then, so let's get on with sketching out some ideas. So at the sketching stage, I just wanted to make sure that all 5 logos put across the idea of power and modern technology and move away from that sort of organic and natural feel. So as Nvidia are all about the future of tech and the future of graphic cards and like predominantly visual based, I want to try and fit some of that idea into the logo if I can. I do like the evil eye idea, so the majority of my sketches are staying in that general region with just changes on how we illustrate the eye and how we can sort of show that concept but in a different way. Like I said earlier, just putting my own little spin on it and just like reimagining how the logo could look without changing that core concept. I also had a look at Adobe fonts whilst I was sketching, just so I could start visualizing how some text would look next to the icons that I was sketching out. From these sketches, I decided which had the most potential to look simple, suitable and scalable, and moved into Illustrator to start polishing up the ideas. So now that I've uploaded 50 videos onto YouTube, I feel like that makes me a proper YouTuber, and I think I've earned the right to ask you to smash that like button if you like this video. It really helps the channel out.
Thank you.
1.
So for this week's option 1, I wanted to address the parts of the logo that I didn't like, but without moving too far away from the concept of the original logo. I played around for ages trying to make a spiral design in a more precise and consistent style than the current logo, but I just couldn't make it work how I wanted it to work. By the way, I didn't just work on the spiral on what you can see in this screencast here. I spent about another 40 minutes working up this spiral, but then I pressed don't save on the screencast. So yeah, when I realised that I hadn't saved it, that was really annoying. So after all of that, I decided to drop the spiral from the logo and just work on a simple eye logo. Although I was feeling a little bit like I'd failed because I couldn't make the spiral idea work, it actually worked out well because this more simple eye icon looked clearer when I added the square part of the logo. The part of the icon that overlaps the square creates a lot of very harsh contrast between like the white and the green colour, and it can look a little bit messy and almost feels a little bit uncomfortable to look at on the original logo. So that sort of overload of contrast effect is lessened because the icon that I've made here is much simpler. I combined the icon with a font called Rebrand, which feels more powerful and sturdy than the font that the current logo uses. It also uses a proper uppercase N, so I'm happy.
2.
So for option 2, I had drawn out a sketch which I first thought would be more suitable for like a web design company. So the core concept was an eye shape made up from a diamond shape surrounded with like pointy brackets, you know, like the greater than and less than symbols. I noticed that when I put the brackets on the top and bottom of the shape, they actually make an N on top and a V on the bottom, so I thought that was a good way of incorporating it. I know it's a little bit subtle, but I thought it was still a nice touch. This icon shape produces a cool isometric effect, which could be the starting point for some cool designs to their brochure and website, just thinking forward a little bit here into their branding. Everything was going well and I was working happily away on this developing, then I had this sudden vision of the Umbro logo and realised that this is kind of similar. The diamond in the middle of my design stopped me being too worried as they don't look exactly the same, and I made sure my typography was very different to the Umbro logo, just to hopefully stop customers making that association.
3.
So the current logo has a spiral which I tried to replicate in option 1 but couldn't seem to make it work, so I wanted to come at it from a different angle and instead of using a spiral, use 2 swooping curves sort of coming out from behind the eye. The idea is that this still gives a visual that implies movement without all of the busyness and complication of a spiral. When creating the eye, I tried lots of different styles as some small changes make a huge difference when it comes to creating something that's symbolising anything natural, especially like human parts. Human parts. The icon felt a little bit lost next to the text, so I included a square pixel from their current logo as a holding shape which the new icon sits on. And I just feel like this new icon, it's kind of got that edginess that I feel like would look good in the header of the website. I feel like when they do them special sort of 3D graphics with it in like the banner on the website, I feel like that could look really good because it's like this nice strong edgy appeal. And I just generally think it looks nice and appropriate for the target audience.
4.
So for option 4, I wanted to go back to pure simplicity. I drew an eye in the simplest way I know how and then used a thick stroke to give it that look that I just love, that big fat stroke. Then I tried lots of ways of incorporating the square pixel so we still have the link to the computer screen graphics. I needed to find a font that would match up with this geometric style and I had to search for a while to get the perfect match. The square icon felt like it was just a little bit too much, so I decided to make the whole logo feel a little bit more friendly and approachable by using the simplest eye icon and lowercase text. And for anyone wanting to know the font, I'm sure you probably know it anyway, but that is Futura Bold used on this one. I think this lowercase style feels nice and refreshing as it seems like most logos for PC parts companies seem to be kind of over the top designs with lots of contrasting colours, all caps text, and slices and sharp angles everywhere all over the icons and text. So I thought that might be a nice refreshing change while still being quite appropriate for the audience.
5.
So for this week's option 5, I wanted to combine the icon and word mark into a badge style logo. The main thinking behind this is that it will work nicely when either printed or engraved onto the graphics cards itself. I added in some secondary lines to hold the word mark in place, and that also sort of reinforced the eye idea. Its footprint is still a landscape rectangle, so it shouldn't cause any problems in the headers of websites, and I feel like it's kind of tall enough that it'll probably still work in sort of like a square or circular profile image or something like that. And I feel like because the footprint of this icon is quite different to usual, it's not sort of your usual run-of-the-mill icon next to text, I feel like it might stand out next to its competitors. Okay then, Rebrand gang, before I show you them final options, I just want to remind you to press the little button up here and then vote for your favourite option, and head straight down to the comments below and let me know why that was your favourite and what you would have done differently. Remember to press like if you like this video and press subscribe if you want to see videos like this every single week, and to get a notification every time I upload, put the little bell on as well. Okay then, Rebrand gang, let's see them final options.